Hey there, pencil stashers. I've been gone for about 2 months now, but I am back. I've been working on a side project that I hope I'll be able to share with you guys sometime in the future. But for right now, I really appreciate your patience on my little hiatus from YouTube, and I missed you guys, so I am back. Hello, colorists. Welcome to Pencilstash, a weekly show all about coloring. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to get all the new content, and be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying my videos. Getting right into the tutorial for today, I very often get asked how I color trees, and this page from Romantic Country's second tale is mostly tree, so this page is perfect to demonstrate my approach to coloring trees. And I know you guys like my real-time coloring tutorials, so we're only going to be focusing on the tree in this tutorial, step by step, and as much in real time as possible so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let's get to it. First off, our tree has a lantern hanging off of it, so the first thing I want to do is color in the area on the tree around the lantern where the light would be cast. And we'll do that with Crayola's Daffodil. I love my Crayola colored pencils. These have a bit less saturated pigment than my Prismacolors, so I regularly use these right alongside my Prismacolors, using each when the time is right. Now, use really light pressure here and feather your strokes around the edges to where they almost disappear. And this will eliminate the possibility of having any harsh lines when we go in later with additional color. Now we'll add in some additional dimension with Crayola's Bronze Yellow. Again, another Crayola with a very subtle pigment, lighter saturation, and we'll place this around the edges with light pressure. And this color will act as our bridge between the daffodil yellow that we just used and the browns that we're going to be using on the tree later. Switching now back to my Prismacolors, we'll take this dark umber PC947, and instead of starting with our lightest color as I usually like to do, we're going to start with our darkest. Now, a tree has rough texture, an irregular shape, and is multi-tonal. So with this color, we're going to add in our shadows. And thankfully, the coloring book artist has already started us on our path and provided some great lines that we can use as our jumping off point. Now you could just trace the color along each of these lines, but I like to embellish each of the lines, giving the illusion of a crevice or of kind of a different shape. And feel free to be creative here. There's so many of these lines and none of them should be alike. Don't forget to shade beneath these mushrooms. And also, it's a good idea to shade on different sides of each line, since again, the crevices and shapes are going to be very diverse and the light will hit them all very differently. All right, this is good for now. We can always go back in and add later, as this is just the first stage of the texture that we'll be adding. Next, we're going to give the entire surface of the tree an overall coat of Prismacolor's Light Umber PC 941. Nothing fancy here, just a foundational layer that we'll be building upon, so make sure you use light pressure for a light coat that we can easily build up. All right, here comes the fun part. We're going to add even more texture, more gnarliness to our tree's surface to enhance what the artist gave us and create the appearance of a more realistic tree bark. So with Prismacolor's dark brown PC 946, we're going to freehand draw some random lines. And this step might look a little bit intimidating, but it really shouldn't be. I know you guys can do this. Just use the natural shape created by the lines already there that the artist gave us, the ones that you embellished, to be your guide. Kind of follow those in the same sort of general direction. And don't worry about it being a very harsh line, as now we're going to use our Prismacolor Colorless Blending Pencil, PC 1077. And you'll see that when you blend this out, those texture lines that we added get softened. The colors intensify, and this little pencil does so much. I love this thing. Now to use this, you'll just use medium to heavy pressure, and normally I like to use circular or orbital strokes, but in this instance on our tree, you can use straight back and forth strokes as well. And if you're unfamiliar with this pencil, it contains the same wax that the regular Prismacolors do, but this one contains no pigment. So it's simply using the wax to push and pull the original pigments to blend them together without adding any new color. Now our shadows need some oomph. So we're going to go in with 90% warm gray PC 1058 to add some depth. And we're not going to cover the entire shadowed area, just where the shadow would be the deepest. So you'll see my lines are a bit thinner than the dark umber areas that we used before. See the difference already between an area I haven't touched yet and an area with the deepened shadows? Taking your time and putting in the little details and multiple colors really makes a difference and pays off. And you don't have to go back into every single texture line. Just be strategic with it and accentuate until you're happy with the look. And it's that simple. That is all I do to color trees. Now, this ultimately ended up being a daytime scene, and you'll use different colors and more shading for nighttime trees. You can add in some harvest golds and some greens even to add in some moss on the tree if you want to. The possibilities are endless. But foundationally, this is where I usually start from with my particular style. And in the end, I added in some texture in the grass, a series of robin's egg blues on the walls of the house, and even a soft pastel blue sky. And if you're interested in recreating this page, here's a complete list of colored pencils that I used. Thank you guys again for watching this tutorial. I'm so happy to be back. If you're interested in more Pencilstash tutorials, you'll find tons of them on my channel. So check those out and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this particular video, I love seeing how many likes I can get. So be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out a ton. You guys are the best. I'll be back next week. And in the meantime, happy coloring.